Yes, I noticed the difference. Yes, it's real. And yes, most of us should give it a shot. No, not drugs and cigarettes, but the concept of dopamine detox. Now, what is it, you ask? Well, let me tell you all about it. Gentlemen, my name is Mayank Bhattacharya. This is Men's Essentials. Let's roll the Okay, so not so long ago in an update video on the channel, I briefly scrubbed through the topic of dopamine detox. A detox that I think has quite effectively changed my perspective towards life. A detox that I think everyone should try. And you see, since then, I have kept an avid eye on the comment section box. I have been on the lookout in my tweets. I have been searching on it in my Instagram DMs. And to my surprise, you all seem interested. To my surprise, you all wanted me to cover this topic of dopamine detox in detail. So let's just do exactly that. You see, in this testosterone-driven manosphere, I think dopamine is a very neglected talk. I also genuinely feel that dopamine is a very underrated neurotransmitter or hormone. But for our reference, we'll refer to this as the hormone. I mean, we all refer to it as a feel-good neurotransmitter or a feel-good hormone, an exciting hormone, an enthralling hormone. But what we often fail to realize, what we often fail to understand is that the same feel-good hormone is responsible for a lot of our daily tasks. Gentlemen, this hormone is the harbinger of our motivation, clarity, and happiness to our daily tasks. You see, one of the most common reasons why young souls and wise folks suffer from self-doubt, competition, unworthiness, and even depression to some extent is for this very reason. Yes, it's for this very fact that we all have basically hijacked our dopamine circuitry and behavior. And hijacked in a very bad way. Yes. Let me explain. You see, whenever we consume porn, whenever we fap, or whenever we scroll down the toil of social media, the Facebook and the Instagram, we get this short, sudden spike of a very powerful stimulus. Yes, stimulus that is designed by the developers of the software or the algorithm. Stimulus that hacks our neurocircuitry, stimulus that makes us feel good or feel happy for a very brief amount of time. Stimulus that gets us addicted, stimulus that wants us to spend our time on that given platform. Yes, just like a bag of salted chips, sugary drink, or that super chocolatey donut. It's all one and the same thing. You consume it, you get a high, and that high is very short-lived. So you keep consuming over and over again. So when I tried this detox of not being on social media, detox of not being on Instagram, Facebook, Netflix, or anywhere, detox of not having any sugar, detox of not consuming anything that can short circuit my neurotransmitters, I felt a needed change. I mean, I stopped overthinking things and I started to enjoy very boring, mundane bits. Yes, things as simple and things as boring as sitting down and doing nothing. I kind of like that. You sitting down and reading a book, I started to enjoy that. You sitting down and writing things in your notebook or your diary, I started to love all that process. Now, part of it was because social media is one of my jobs. So forcing myself to unplug from this job was a much needed thing that I wasn't really aware of. But the second one, the one about the dopamine detox, well, that's what you and I are most interested in. You see, when you're consistently hammered by the stupid micro doses of dopamine around from every other sources possible, the brain does not really need to focus. Why? Well, because the brain is a smart thing. We are trying to make artificial intelligence off of this thing, but this has its own epic intelligence to it. So when we are being constantly dopamine abundant via social media, porn, or anything that there is in this stratosphere of abundance, including sugar and junk food and a shit lifestyle as well, this does not need to work hard. Rather, this does not want to work hard. Because over the years of human civilization, we might have discovered ways to live a longer and a healthier life, but we haven't really figured out a way to up this antique. So for me, my reset Well, that was a dying need. And boy, I'm so happy I pulled out the plug. I'm so happy I took this dopamine detox break. Because what was really happening with these micro doses of dopamine shots was that my brain was forgetting to live and enjoy the real process. Actually, my brain was forgetting to enjoy the real joys of life. Yes, real joy, real work that gives us an actual dopamine shot. A shot that is much deeper, much harder and much long lasting than these quick fixes that we scroll. For example, we're doing our work, we're accomplishing our goals, we're starting up something new, we're trying out something bold. These are good dopamine shots. We're going out, meeting up with friends, making out with girlfriends or girlfriend. These are good dopamine shots. We're working out, we're reading a book, we're petting our dog, we're enjoying our hobbies. Gentlemen, these are the good dopamine shot. Not consuming the stupid porn or the moronic Instagram tits and ass BS. Not getting anxious, judgmental or extra harsh on ourselves, seeing these fake millionaires on the internet. Not being extra critical of our own happiness, seeing someone living their apparent life on the internet. These things aren't productive. These things aren't empowering. These aren't a source of good dopamine shots. Because see, at the end of it, you sitting at home watching porn and fapping it out is not a good source of dopamine. But you going out, meeting someone and making out with her in real is a very good dopamine shot. You sitting at home eating bags of chips and being high on sugar, that's not a good dopamine shot. Though you will get a dopamine shot. But you working out, you're being in shape, you're getting a high from that workout, that's a good dopamine shot. You judging yourself, you being extra harsh on yourself, you being criticizing your own work and whatnot, that's not a good dopamine shot, even though you can get a decent high from just being self-critical. But on the contrary, you're just working on yourself, you're just figuring out a way to do your job and you're enjoying your process, that's a very good dopamine shot. I mean, if Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett can take a couple of weeks out from their monthly or bi-monthly schedule and go out far away to their farmland, carry a couple of books, read it and unplug from the world, then what is stopping you to try it out once? I mean, what is your excuse to at least try it out once? No, now this is not a streak or a religious preach. It's not like that. Gentlemen, it's not something you should live by forever. But gentlemen, this is something we must do for our own sanity, for our own happiness, every once in a while, just to clear. Yes, every time we feel we need to focus, every time we feel we lack the confidence in ourselves, every time we don't feel good about ourselves, every time we become extra critical of ourselves. I mean, if I have said it once, I'll probably say it 1,000 times. This cannot be a lifestyle. I don't really want you to live a monk isolated lifestyle because that's a very difficult thing to do. But guess what? You will actually start enjoying the boring, mundane processes in life once you actually do a good dopamine detox. You'll actually start cherishing the joy you had in your work. You'll actually start having fun with the passion that you had before once you do a decent dopamine detox. Now, if you want me to mentor you, if you want me to coach you, if you want me to transform you in you becoming your best damn self, be it with style, fashion, personality or anything that there is, then I have a good news for you. My consultations, my mentorship consultations and coaching programs are now live on my website. You can go to mayank.com or you can click the very first or the second link in the description box, fill up your details in the consultation form and someone from my team will call you up as soon as they can. Also, in case you're wondering, this is the Black Teamy Basics, 15% off till we have the stock. Use the code JAIHIND to get 15% off on our Black and White Signature Series. The very first link in the description will take you right there. Now, I'll want to conclude this episode with a clip from one of my favorite Men's Essentials video till date. Watch it, understand it and learn the best things from that clip as you can. But for everything else, there is Men's Essentials. For everything else, there are 600, 700 plus videos on this channel. Gentlemen, my name is Mayank Bhattacharya. Thanks a lot for watching. Dress sharp, stay strong and stay stylish. I will see you soon in the next one. Enjoy the clip. Have fun. Bye. Jai Hind. I mean, to us middle class people, all our modern life diseases are diseases of abundance. A sugary chocolate or a trip to the video game parlor was once a moment of joy for the scarce community or the scarce world. Now we have it all in abundance. Now we are all overexposed to everything. So the best way to survive in this modern society is by being ascetic. No, not aesthetic, but ascetic. Yes, it is by actually retreating from the society. Gentlemen, there is too much society, too much influence everywhere we go. There's society in our pocket, in our ears, in our phones, in our wallet, in our mind, every time, every place we could ever possibly go. Hell, you are getting socialized right now by watching this video and listening to my words. That's how crazy things are. So, the only solution to happiness? Turn it off.